All right, welcome back to the Boss and Politic. Tonight we're going to talk about the broadcast, the Showtime broadcast of Lubin versus Terrell Gausha. This is a fight I was looking forward to. I thought it was going to be a I don't want to say chess match. You know, that's a it's a bit of a cliche to me, but I thought it was going to be high skill, but it's still exciting fight between a hard hitter and someone who has the craft like Goucher has, who's been in the ring with some like wildly vets with like there's Landy Lara and Austin Trout. So some high skilled opponents who would put him in a give him an opportunity to face high skilled left handers and be able to bring some of the tricks he learned in those fights versus Erickson Lubin. I don't feel I got that out of this fight. It wasn't the most entertaining show. I mean, it started off with a bang with Jaron Enos, Jaron Boots Enos, his knockout over Abreu. He did an excellent job right there. Did something no one has done before, and he's really stamping himself as a name in the division, in the sport in general. But the main event definitely left something, you know, left something to be desired, if I had to say so myself. But there were some things we could gauge from it. Starting off, Goucher, I don't know where to say where he goes from here. I think he seems like a stand-up guy, but what does that matter in the sport? Assholes win every day. You know what I'm saying? Good guys win every day too, no matter what it is. So it don't matter if he seems like he's a person you want to see win. He didn't win, and I don't know if he'll be able to, especially in this division, get a belt. He's surrounded by two extremely tough divisions. He's in 54, going up to 160. You gotta see, Jamal Charlo, but you probably won't have opportunities there because Canelo fights whoever he wants to fight. It doesn't really it doesn't really matter on that front. You're not gonna force him into the ring, and then at 47, what you gonna do? You gonna go up there with Earl? So I don't really know what to say in terms of him getting the opportunity at a title shot, or even if he were to get one, being able to take advantage of that and become a champion. It's unfortunate, but shit, he still have a career that 99% of people who lace up a pair of gloves would envy, because a lot of them don't get to the point of the Olympics, fighting on TV as often as he has, and getting that close to the belt. But to talk about the winner of the match, Erickson Lubin, how he looked, I would say he looked decent. He looked decent. Um, I think he would be able to beat Jason Rosario. I can give him that. One thing that would get me is they're both counter punchers. Like he has that power, but he's kind of like Danny Garcia in the sense that he has and Jason Rosario in the sense that he's a counter puncher. He has a lot of power, but he typically, to really show it, he's not gonna press the action. He was the aggressor in this fight, but that didn't that was by default because Goucher kept his hands at home pretty much the whole time until like the last third of the fight. So the last 4 rounds, then yeah, it really was pretty much, well, really 8 through 12, but yeah, pretty much the last third of the fight. You didn't he kept his hands home. So all Lubin had to do was pump out the jab, keep it consistent, go to the body occasionally, just be aggressive enough to get easy wins. This was one of his few times going to 12 rounds. Can't say how many he's done, but even if is because I don't think he's ever gone to 12 rounds. Actually, this might have been the first, but eh, I wouldn't even account this because it was such a low energy 12 rounds that in most fights that was about 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't pushed, so I don't think any other either fighter was tired, particularly tired. Um, the fireworks really took off at about round 8, and Gausha showed us something. Um, I had heard before because people use the Charlo reasoning. I didn't use that one. That was a perfect punch, but I think Lubin was hurt in another fight as well. But it's been said that Lubin has a tendency to be chinny, that he can be hurt, and I mean, you got a grown man hitting you, so I ain't the type to really say that somebody's chinny or they got a weak chin, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, because you got a grown man swinging at you, no matter what, you know. Somebody your size is hitting you in the face, of course, you can get hurt, you know. But in this one, especially if you didn't see him coming, in this one, he definitely saw it coming. Like, he was right in front of Terrell Gausha, who's not known as like a puncher by any stretch of the imagination, and he was still hit. He was hit while, you know what I'm saying, looking dead at Gausha. He saw the punch coming, couldn't get out the way of it, and he was hurt. And it looked bad, you know. He did the knee thing, the leg thing that they say, like, they call it chicken leg or stanky leg or whatever you want to call it, but chicken damn, whatever. But he was visibly hurt by that. You know, he could be like in the video game world, they call him a glass cannon, where they do all the damage, but they can't take the damage back. That's your boy, man. He might just be that, and I have real worries for him if he really wants to take that step and get back in there with Charlo, who's gonna hit just as hard as he hits, but has a brick. You know what I'm saying? He has a brick on his face. I've seen Charlo get hit 1,000 times. Like, he's taking a lot of clean flush shots and he just keeps going. So, I mean, that's fight by fight basis, the chin thing, because I would have expected J-Rock to be hurt by Herb, but he showed us something, and then in the next fight he got put away. But I don't see how that's gonna rock, you know. Especially you the type of fighter, you got a low output, so he gonna match or exceed your output, and Charlo's gonna land. He's dangerous from round 1 to round 12, and your round 12 that you were in today, I'm talking about Lubin, was a round 12 that wasn't it wasn't a real round 12 in my eyes, because you didn't get pushed into that round. You're gonna have to fight a lot. You're gonna have to fight the whole fight. That's the thing. Like, that's what happened with Tony Harrison when he fought Charlo in the second fight. He had to fight that whole fight, and you saw he was having mental lapses when he would do the little dance when he got hit or stuff like that. His focus got broken because it was like, this nigga is in my face and he's not stopping. And that'll fatigue you just as much as throwing the punches and everything. So having that fatigue make you weak. I think we don't get a repeat of the first fight between them, but if they fight again, I think we get the same result. It probably happened. I don't like making predictions, nothing like that, because you never know. But about round 9, I could see round 9 it happening the same way. You know what I'm saying? Bruh getting put out because he doesn't seem to take the damage real well. 54 is interesting. They got that behemoth out there who just beat Nathaniel Gallimore, the guy, the 6'6" guy. Like me, I don't understand how he makes that weight. But him versus that might be a dangerous fight for Lubin. So 54 is a crazy division, and I think once Charlo beats, because I've already made my prediction on that fight. Once Charlo beats Rosario, then I think I hope he doesn't have to immediately go to Lubin. I hope he can get the guy, whoever has the WBO, become undisputed. I hope he gets to bypass J Rock. There's been conversations or rumors saying that J Rock knows he has that fight, which is like bullshit to me. Because if you opt out of your mandatory, like your rematch clause, then you need to go to the back of the line. You said you didn't want that guy. You should go to the back of the line. But I hope he gets a chance at that WBO, become undisputed, and then shit, just let fight Hurd. Hurd should be his capstone at 54, and then he can move up to 160. But at that point, I see it as fair ground that Lubin might be able to be the dominant force in that division. I just don't see it as long as Charlo is there. But that's just my recap of the night. Tonight's worth of fights. We'll hopefully see a much more entertaining fight between next week when Jamel lines up with Rosario and Jamal Charlo lines up with Sergey Deryachenko. But thanks for checking in. I'll catch y'all next time. It's been real.